Alright, good evening. I have two things I want to do in the garden this evening. It is nice and cool and absolutely beautiful. Well, I guess three. These are the turnips that I've shown a few times. They overwintered and then they went to blossom and now they've gone to seed. I'm going to turn it around. So these are the little seed pods. If you look, this is just two turnips. I have enough turnip seeds for the entire world, it seems like, right here on these couple plants. So this bed, I threw in a black strawberry tomato plant at the other end, but this right here, I think is ready to come out. I'm just going to hang that on the patio for those seed pods to dry. And the corn, if you can see it, is over there and it's starting to tassel. I planted, it's like baby sweet orchard or baby orchard sweet corn. It's a little ear, and it's good for smaller spaces. And it's done in like 65 days, so it's very quick. So today's the end. We're heading towards the end of June here, but it's quite possible if I plant another bed of that sweet corn, that'll be coming due or be coming done the end of August. That one, I can't even remember when I planted it, but it's starting to tassel. So probably sometime, I'm guessing like mid-July-ish, that's going to be ready to harvest and to eat. And then if we plant another round, it'll be ready at the end of August. So that's what I want to do here. I have saved seed from last year. And then the other thing I want to do is my garden bed that's over along the fence there, I feel like could use a little bit of enrichment. So I wanted to just grab some of the compost that the chickens are currently on, spread a bucket full of compost, and then this is just an old spice container, but I've got buckwheat seed. And I was going to plant some buckwheat where the arugula and the lettuce and maybe some of the radishes even are done. A bird just flew into my pole bean trellis. Nailed it. I wish I could have gotten that on camera. Just so you believe me. She landed in a tree up there. I think she's a little stunned. So I just wanted to do that just to add to the soil. What I'll do is I'll let that grow for a while and then just either come in with a pair of scissors or a weed eater and just cut that down and just let the extra plant just drop and go back into the soil. Just provide mulch and decompose back into the soil. So it's almost 8:30, well, it's 8:37. My girls are supposed to be in bed at 9. They haven't been in bed at 9 for a while. So we'll see. They want to come out and catch fireflies, and they don't come out till later anyway. So pulling out the turnips, planting some sweet corn, dumping some, pulling out the lettuce, dumping some compost, planting some buckwheat in the compost, and we'll go from there. something that I adore about no-till gardening. So I keep the soil covered. All I had to do was pull the grass clippings away. I used the garden weasel, as you saw, to break up the surface of the soil, so I had loose soil at the very top to plant the seeds. Put the seeds in, patted it down, and now we're done. Just 2 hand tools were able to complete the task. I didn't even need to use the first one. I mean, the first one was it's called a future fork. It's actually a fork to clean stalls in a horse barn, but it just works really well for removing grass clippings from the garden beds. And last year I grew this sweet corn, and it mostly came in when I was on vacation with the family. So we ate some, we fed some to our chickens. Let you see what we're doing here. I'm just watering this in. So we ate some, we fed some to the chickens, and then I just let some completely finish the plant, die back, the cob dry up on the plant, and then I just harvested the seed. So that, hold both here. So this jar was, I think, maybe 2, maybe 3 of those little ears of corn. And I've planted, let's see, that little clump of corn, this one that you just saw me plant, and actually I also shared some seed with one of my coworkers. So it's a lot of seed, and there's still a lot left. And I guess I could, in this area, this is in western Pennsylvania. See this mess here. This is in western Pennsylvania. I could probably be planting this corn right up into, like, I think mid-July would be reasonably safe. It's 65 days, so roughly 2 months to finish. I had it finishing out in September. It'd probably be reasonably safe that we're going to be able to harvest from it. So we'll see. I don't I don't know that I'm going to get the cover crop planted tonight. This might be as far as I get, but thanks for joining us. We'll get some more done tomorrow. So I just tore out some radishes and arugula and lettuce greens. I planted these back, like, I think the first week of March. Now this is a radish seed pod, and I just tried one. It actually tastes like a radish. Has a little bit of the peppery taste. It's actually pretty good. So anybody out there that has trouble growing radishes because they bolt and go to see it on you, let them, and then eat the seed pods. And it's like eating a little tiny radish. You don't have to clean the dirt off. It's really good. All right, so pardon my breakfast of garden snacks here. So what I'm doing this morning, hopefully before anybody needs me, is I cleared out some of that stuff that's bullets had gone to seed. I'm going to get a bucket full of compost and spread in those paste spaces. I'm going to plant some buckwheat seed. This is just as a cover crop. And what this will do is it will hold the soil together. It pulls up nutrients from the soil. It shades the soil so that, one, it keeps in moisture, and two, it typically grows so fast with a broad leaf that it shades out weeds. So it controls weeds. It gives me more biomass for mulching the garden, and just kind of gives me like a spot that I'm not going to replant right now, but by fall I'll have a nice reset there, a nice layer of compost on top, and I'll be ready to plant something there later in the summer / early fall. I'm not putting something that I'm going to eat in here right away because the chickens have been on this compost. There is some fresh manure mixed in there, so I don't really want to plant something that I'm going to be consuming right now. So I'm going to plant something that's just there as a cover crop for now. Let's go feed this bucket of weeds to the chickens. Good morning, ladies. Oops. They've been in on the compost just over a week. They're ready to get back out. Hi, ladies. How we doing? Now, I just took the compost that was in there from a space like not towards the back, because the back is where the most shade is, and that's where they hang out the most. So hang on, let me shut the door. There's a lot of room in here. So hence the most fresh chicken poo. Okay, so I have not done a ton right here. I basically picked the weeds and I broke the lettuce greens and things off, or cut them off close to the soil. There's still, the roots are in the soil. There's a part of the stem left. I don't care. It's going to break down. It's just going to add more organic material to the soil. So this is what this space looks like. I'm just going to dump the compost on top of that, spread it around, sprinkle some buckwheat seed in, water it in, call it a day. So I want to show you one of the reasons that I'm specifically targeting this space right here. One, the stuff that's planted there is done. Two, I planted a few zucchini. I don't plant very much zucchini because I hate when my life is overrun by zucchini. So I just planted a couple. I have one over there and I have one right here. They're both planted at the same time, but I want to show you the difference in the plant. Okay. So look at this guy. There's a leaf. It maybe like about covers my palm. It's maybe somewhere 8 to 12 inches tall, depending on what leaf you're looking at there. Now, this bed does have competition from this tree. because the branches are coming out over this bed. So if the branches are coming out over this bed, then so are the roots are going to be underneath it. So there is some competition here. I'm not taking the tree out, so we're just going to have to roll with that. But this, and the light's terrible right now, this zucchini plant is the same seed and was planted about the same time, and my hand is underneath that leaf, and it obviously is substantially larger. It's at least twice the height, double, triple the leaf size. So that's telling me that that soil there needs something. So we're just going to start with some compost. Okay, and just one other thing. While I've been out here working in the garden, yeah, the shadow's going to be with the shadow. While I've been working out here in the garden, I've also been watering my tomato plants. So right here, I just have the hose running, just kind of at a trickle, so it's not washing the soil away, so it's not just you know, running off the bed, but it's going slowly enough that it can seep down into the soil. And just as I'm moving around the garden and doing other things, I come over and move it. So like, I've been in the garden, I would say at least an hour, and I've watered 3 tomato plants. So the hose has been running on each of those plants at least like 15-20 minutes, because I do steal the hose and fill the watering can and stuff. But the idea there is it's just getting, the water's getting down in deep, it's saturating the soil, it's encouraging those roots to reach down deep and not stay at the surface level. And I'm getting 2 things done at once, and the water's staying at the base of the plant and not getting the foliage wet, because that's when you can end up with a lot more disease and that kind of thing. So I'm going to move that again. Important thing, because I've done this, if you're going to step away from the garden, set a timer in the house, on your phone, on your smartwatch, whatever you have, because I have definitely forgotten it before. So set a reminder, unless you're way better at keeping that in your brain than I am. Okay. All right. Thank you for hanging out with us today. We'll see you on the next one.